DJ Manic Spot in the mix.
Amazoga kubagana na linkulaba ne muchiloto ngote magana na linkulaba okuleka wabo ne fata kwere na linchibala olika pana nyaka kulaba.
Today's hit music.
Mukwano nkulanga njagala bakimanye yona Uganda njigamba mukwano gwasonye. I'm keeping your love on nange omutima n'omwoyo wambonase kubanga love woman now.
DJ E the ultimate.
Good idea, nice idea.
Bawasala wakulonda nze.
Good idea, nice idea.
Bawasala wakubawa nze.
Yali good idea, nice idea.
Bawasala wakulonda nze.
Good idea, nice idea.
Bawasala wakubawa nze.
Oh baby,
your love is amazing.
We make them from Ugandan fruits. Ugandan fruits. Mango, pineapple, passion. Yes. Without soda, gin at brown nut. In chocolate, there is cocoa. Yes.
So, cocoa. Yes, it's cocoa flavored fruit, so they change it to different flavors. Yes. So here is that if you go to Uganda, you go to Uganda Airlines. This is ceramic. It is made by this young men here. One of them has a master's in making ceramics. Clay. We have a kiln behind here. From clay? Yes. From clay. And this what type?
No, this covers, we made it using metal. The covers.
The cover?
So this one, we didn't put the cover, but...
No. This one. The logo, this one. Or porcelain. What's porcelain? Porcelain. What is it? They make from, it's called the China porcelain. We make it from Mount China. Mount China, and then it is what makes it. Like a real block, it's not like paint, it's clay. When in the clay they make what is called Mount China, it's what they actually this and look at our facility. So there's a big kiln behind here where we're making. So it's behind you to see.
Why?
This is the small key, a big key is the other one.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Retired Yoweri Museveni, the Honorable Ministers, in the interest of time, permit me to stand by the protocol already established. I'm Lieutenant General James Mugera, and I'm the Managing Director of the National Enterprise Corporation. Let me first take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to thank you for finding time of your busy schedule to grace this occasion of the commissioning of the neck meat and beans plant. It is indeed a great honor and privilege to have you here this afternoon. Your Excellency, this joint venture between NEC and Lago Company was incorporated on the 13th of September 2019 with the name of setting up a meat and bean processing plant and a tin can production line here in Uganda. As we were prepared to commence construction of the facility, COVID-19 set in, and this to some extent delayed the project until we resumed 3 years later. I'm glad that we have finally completed the construction and equipping of the factory, and it's now operational. Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, today's occasion marks a significant milestone in our journey as National Enterprise Corporation and as a country towards industrialization, value addition, and job creation. The establishment of this facility will no doubt bring enormous benefits to our people and our economy. It will create direct and indirect employment opportunities for hundreds of citizens, improve the livelihoods of livestock farmers in this area and beyond, the transporters, the suppliers, the traders, and indeed stimulate growth in supporting industries. The addition of the tin canning factory is particularly significant because it will contribute to import substitution by reducing the dependence on imported processed meats, especially in form of dry ration for our security forces, the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Uganda Police, and the prisons. So this, in a way, will create some level of self-sufficiency as far as feeding our forces is concerned and save the country from spending the much needed foreign exchange to import dry ration. For example, Your Excellency, the UPDF dry ration for this financial year is over $2 million. That money would have remained here in the country or even in the National Enterprise Corporation. So you may, Your Excellency, wish to give a directive on the local procurement of this tin beef. We are currently engaging the UPDF leadership to start procuring all the tin beef from us, and in the future, when the beans factory is operational, tin beans. You can imagine we get our dry ration from Brazil, which is so far. It takes time to deliver, in addition to donating jobs, as Your Excellency always tells us. Not forgetting the possibility and likely effects of global supply chain disruptions. In the near future, we should be able to not only produce for internal consumption, but for also export the region and beyond. By enabling local processing and packaging, we shall move beyond exporting raw products to to producing high-value finished goods. This will create greater value within our economy and open access to regional and international markets. As you've been briefed during the tour, this modern abattoir will ensure that meat is processed under the internationally recognized hygiene and quality standards, enhancing food safety and public health. It will also improve efficiency in the beef value chain and strengthen consumer confidence in locally processed products. I want to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to extend our deep appreciation to our partners, Mr. Lagwa and his able and professional team for the decision to invest in our country. Your confidence in our country is deeply valued. Your investment represents more than financial capital. It's an investment in our people, our communities, and our shared future. We celebrate a partnership built on confidence, shared vision, and commitment to unlocking the immense potential of our country's livestock sector. We thank you for bringing not only capital, but also technology, expertise, innovation, and international best practices. We look forward to a long-lasting partnership that delivers prosperity for both your company and our nation. Your Excellency, sir, this investment demonstrates that our country, Uganda, as you have always said, is an attractive destination for serious and long-term investment. It is expected to increase incomes for livestock farmers through reliable market access and better prices for quality animals. As a joint venture, we have started engaging a number of large-scale commercial farmers, including the Uganda Beef Farmers Association. Some of the serious commercial farmers are here, Your Excellency, like the Honorable Professor Kamuntu. We want to see how we can work together by guaranteeing them an offtake at slightly better prices, and them in turn guaranteeing us good quality animals and sustainable supply. As you've been briefed, the capacity of this plant is 150 animals per day. So if we operate 5 days a week, leaving the other 2 days for maintenance of the equipment, if you multiply the 5 days by 52 weeks in a year, it means we need 39,000 animals in a year for this factory. If we mobilize about 100 farmers or ranchers, including my farms, supply 390 animals per year each, that is an average of around 32 animals per month, who would meet the requirement. So it is really possible, and we are determined to achieve this figure progressively. To the small farmers, you should not miss out. Just organize yourselves, and we guarantee you the market. Recently, Your Excellency, I was reading some literature about the Botswana beef industry. The country just has a population of about 2.7 million people, compared to Uganda with 49 million. And it has a cattle population that has been declining, by the way, over the last 40 years, and is now about 1.7 million, compared to Uganda with about 15 million. Uganda is now ranked, I think, number 6 largest producing country on the continent. The striking point is that Uganda has nearly 10 times more cattle than Botswana. Yet, Botswana has historically earned much more from premium beef exports. I realized that Botswana's success was not because it had more cattle. It was because it built institutions around beef production. For example, excellent animal disease control. Botswana invested heavily in veterinary services, disease surveillance, vaccination, movement controls, quarantine systems, etc., which measures enabled Botswana to achieve access to premium markets like the European Union. Uganda, on the other hand, has been experiencing recurring outbreaks for foot and mouth disease, CVPP, tick-borne disease, etc. And these outbreaks frequently lead to movement restrictions and export limitations. I'm happy that not long ago, Your Excellency launched our own Narovac anti-tick vaccine, and MAIV has recently come up with compulsory vaccination programs, which I think and believe will help in disease control. The second point was the complete cattle traceability. Every export animal in Botswana can be traced from birth, owner, grazing area, veterinary treatments, slaughterhouse, etc. Importing countries pay a premium because they know exactly where every animal originated. Uganda still has only partial traceability. Many cattle move through informal markets without comprehensive identification. Then there is the export-grade abattoirs. Botswana invested early in international certified slaughterhouses. These facilities meet strict standards for hygiene, cold chain, meat inspection, and food safety. Uganda has modern abattoirs like this one we have set up, but only a limited number consistently meet the requirements of the highest value export markets. Uganda actually has several advantages over Botswana. We have a much larger herd. We have better climate, as you can see. We have higher rainfall, longer grazing seasons, and less drought compared to Botswana, which is mostly semi-arid and frequently suffers from drought etc. Our production costs here are also lower, and we have abundant pasture and labor. And we have a growing regional market because Uganda already exports beef to neighboring countries, including Kenya, South Sudan, DRC, etc. Above all, Uganda's Ankole cattle are said to have better beef that is low in fat and cholesterol compared to standard commercial beef breeds. Your Excellency, I also wish to report that if there is anyone with passion for the Ankole cows, it is Mr. Thomas Egenberg there. You can see everything. He's Ankole and he knows their names. He's the general manager of our joint venture. I therefore believe that if the Ministry of Agriculture were to strengthen nationwide livestock identification and traceability, consistent disease control and vaccination, export certified processing facilities, cold chain logistics, and quality assurance and branding, Uganda will no doubt become one of Africa's leading beef exporters. Your Excellency, next to this facility is the Egypt-Uganda Joint Model Farm, where we carry out limited feedlotting, and directly across is the neck farm. Our concept was that from the neck farm, we would get bulls for fattening at the Egypt-Uganda Joint Model Farm, and then have them slaughtered here at this facility to complete the cycle. Finally, Your Excellency, we still have a major challenge here of power. It's very, very unreliable. We do experience power surges, and when we get to these power surges, our very sensitive equipment is damaged. So we have only resorted to using generators most of the time, which increases the cost of production. We request for Your Excellency's intervention. With those few words, permit me once again thank Your Excellency for all the support you have given us, which has enabled us to reach this far. Thank you, Your Excellency. May God bless you and our nation for God and my country.
Your Excellency, Honorable Ministers, Managing Director of National Enterprise Corporation, and the rest of the guests, good afternoon. Your Excellency, thank you so much for finding time to grace this occasion. Your Excellency, I'm a man of a few words. I'm not used to giving speeches, so I didn't write a speech. I'll just go over some points of note that I made. First is to give you the history. Indeed, it is, as General Mujira has mentioned, that we signed the joint venture in 2019. However, as we were planning to launch the project, COVID happened, and so that delayed us for 3 years. But in these 3 years, we were not seated, Your Excellency. We were still conducting research. And I'll tell you, Your Excellency, this factory is very different from what we had envisioned it to be when we started. We were supposed to have a slaughterhouse and a tinning line. But as we kept conducting our research, the question we asked is, why were other slaughterhouses that have been established in Uganda failing? And as we were conducting our research, we decided that the issue of transfer of technology, and that means from the foundation to the infrastructure, we shall do it from here in Uganda, because we got experts to train. And Your Excellency, I'll tell you, like, we have Kenneth here, who has been the engineer of this factory from the time it started. And the reason for that, we wanted that even if we have as much as a leak in this factory, we have internal capacity to be able to address these issues. In our research and development, Kenneth went to benchmark into different slaughterhouses. He went to Eastern Europe, he went to Russia. We also benchmarked in Brazil and South Africa. It is South Africa that really caught our attention, and that's where the Ankole heritage came about. Other than our love for the Ankole cow, is that South Africa brought something up, and that's if we don't tell our story, someone else will tell it for us. We can no longer sell meat or beef as a commodity anymore, otherwise we are bound to fail. We have to sell our story. If you look at the Japanese, for example, they tell you about Wagyu beef, and one of the things they'll tell you, Your Excellency, they give you stories like how they wash their cattle with beer. And for this reason, you pay very expensively for what they call Wagyu A5 marbled beef in different menus. For those of you who have looked into this issue, bear me witness that. And so we want to do the same thing with our beef. All these markets, you look at South Africans, they have a story. I'll tell you something funny, Your Excellency. In South Africa, they have a beer called Ankole, and in this place where they sell this beer, they have a cow, Ankole cow, which they have put between two pieces of wood. Rather, they have locked the cow there. And you pay 200 rands to go and take a picture with this cow. This is the story I'm telling you, Your Excellency, about how other people are benefiting from what we have. And so we must tell our story as Uganda through our beef. This facility, Your Excellency, has been visited by different people from the export market, and we've been able to take advice and incorporate what they've told us in order for us to be able to export. And we believe that if we are able to get these good prices, we'll be able to transfer this directly to the farmer. Your Excellency, we plan also in terms of Ankole heritage as a brand. The issue of cattle and the scarcity of cattle, I sometimes say that is not a very bad thing. Is because if we are able to, sometimes scarcity in itself is not a bad thing in terms of marketing. Because we will be able to sell our beef expensively if we are able to raise our cattle well, feed them well, come up with good feedlot systems such that we produce quality meat, such that our cattle don't walk as they walk for long distances. We intend also in the future, Your Excellency, there's equipment that we are not able to show you today because we are also developing a lab here so that we are able to submit our meat and test it ourselves and be able to submit to the international market exactly what we are producing for them. Your Excellency, I'd like to thank NEC very much because in our joint venture, the moment we asked NEC to provide land to us, it was provided immediately. So I'd like at this juncture to thank General Mujira and his team. Our biggest challenge at the time was also to, and I would say personally, was to mobilize funds because after COVID, the price of this factory went up 4 times. And so, Your Excellency, I'll tell you, we have made it here through a lot of sacrifice. And I'm very happy and pleased, and I thank God for this day.
Excellency Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Cabinet Ministers present here, UPDF leadership present here, NEC leadership, our joint venture partner, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on the protocol already established. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and the Uganda People's Defense Forces, I warmly welcome you to NEC Farm Katonga, Chisozi, for this historic occasion, which is the official launch and commissioning of the NEC Meat and Beans Processing Limited. We thank you, Your Excellency, for making time out of your busy schedule to grace this occasion. Your Excellency, your presence here today at the start of Chisanja No More Sleep is a clear demonstration of your unwavering commitment to transforming Uganda through production, value addition, and strategic self-reliance for our security institutions. It is with great honor, humility, and pride that we gather to witness yet another milestone in our journey towards self-reliance, industrialization, and value addition. I also extend special thanks to our joint venture partner, Mr. Ragwa Francis and Ragwa and Company Kenya Limited, for your investment and confidence in Uganda, which is deeply appreciated. This is a true Pan-African business corporation. We thank you. To the NEC team, the engineers, the contractors, and the troops who secured and delivered this project, mwebale nnyo. I also highly commend the leadership of NEC for their dedication, technical expertise, and discipline in executing this project on time, despite the challenges they faced at the beginning. Your Excellency, you have consistently guided us that the UPDF is not only a consumptive force, but a productive force. That is why, through your visionary leadership, the National Enterprise Corporation was established to engage in productive and profitable ventures that support the welfare of troops and reduce the burden on the national treasury. Today, we are launching one of such strategic ventures. Your Excellency, this factory is not just about business. It is about strategic logistics, troop welfare, and national economic transformation. First, for many years, a significant portion of our operational rations, such as canned beef and beans, was imported, as General Mujira stated. With this plant, the UPDF is transforming to self-sufficiency. Your Excellency, General Mujira requested you to give a directive. We commit as a ministry to prioritize purchase from this establishment, which is one of our own. The plant has the capacity to produce dry rations for UPDF and as well as other sister agencies. Your Excellency, the sister agencies are here, and I think on behalf of government, we can also commit them to get these from this establishment. Your Excellency, this facility has already created direct employment of our youth, engineers, food scientists, and technicians. It is a center for technology and skills transfer that proves our local capacity can manage complex industrial processes. This facility is a direct bridge to our local communities. In line with the parish development model and Operation Wealth Creation, this plant will source its raw materials, livestock and beans directly from Ugandan farmers. This guarantees a ready market, stable prices, and increased household incomes. Rather than exporting our raw material, correct, as you have always guided, Uganda is now processing, canning, and adding value. This implements your ATM's agenda, agro-processing as a key growth sector, and contributes directly to the tenfold growth strategy. Most importantly, we thank Your Excellency for your visionary guidance, your constant push for the UPDF and all Ugandans to actively participate in the industrialization of Uganda. And this is what has birthed the factory we see before us today. You have taught us that a modern military or society must not only defend the borders of its country, but must also protect and build its economy. Your Excellency, as you commissioned this plant this morning, you are not only commissioning machines, you are commissioning better fed troops, stronger logistics, jobs for our people, increased farmer income, and another decisive step towards a self-sustaining defense forces and a self-sustaining nation. We thank Your Excellency. It is now my singular honor, duty and privilege, Your Excellency, to most humbly invite you, the Fountain of Honor, to address this gathering.
Other leaders, the investor, and the management, and the workers in the factory here. First of all, I want to congratulate Mr. Agua for taking the initiative. Yes, Nick has given you run, but the ideas were yours. These were your ideas. And I thank you and congratulate you. Sorry you have suffered so much. I have heard of your suffering. But even Jesus Christ suffered, you remember? And I have suffered so much also for. So people who are doing good things always suffer for their country. Secondly, the issue of the supply of the required raw materials is just organizational. Uganda now is the biggest producer of coffee in Africa here now. This was just mobilizational. Once we get the economics, like for instance, the way I promoted coffee, when I made the Chivaro, calculation, Chura, I saw that our small-scale farmers can get good money from coffee, even if they use 1 acre. And then I just promoted it, mobilized our people, told them. And that's how production of coffee went from 3 million bags to now 9 million bags. And we're heading towards 30 million bags to 20 million bags. With the milk, it was the same. Production in 1986 was 200 million liters a year. I made the calculation for our small farmers, and I found that even 1 acre, you can be able to have like 8 cows, Frisians, and you can be able to sell 120, 150 liters a day, and you will get good money. And now the production of milk has gone from 5.4 billion liters. With the beef, the cows in 1986 were only 3 million cows. They are now 16 million. It's not very well streamlined yet, but it is easy to do so. The stimulus to make us do so is the market. Once I am sure about the market, I can mobilize the Ugandans to produce, and the economics is correct. Because what we need to determine is who are the source of the raw materials. The smaller farmers, like in the case of coffee and dairy, or the big farmers. decide between intensive farming versus extensive farming. That's what we need to decide. As you calculated, I think it was Mujira was calculating, if you want people who can give you 300 cows a year, each farmer, 100 of them can give you this, can feed this factory. You just need 100 big farmers, each one able to give you 300 and something cows a year. This is very easy. It's not such a big issue. So let's decide. Should we rely on the few large-scale farmers, or do we rely on the peasants also? So it's not a big issue. I will discuss and then I will mobilize. Once I know what to do, we shall mobilize our people. Now the last issue is Umsumba. Umsumba means the priest, the pastor. You know, these ministers are supposed to be pastors, sector by sector. A pastor of agriculture, a pastor of... So, there's now we've been having pastors of industry. We've now got a brand new one now. Assisted by some other younger people. Now, when you hear that a factory is here but has no reliable electricity, the question is, what was the pastor doing? The pastor of that sector, what was he doing? Because if the factory came, was licensed by Uganda Investment Authority. You must have been licensed in Ragwa. So the one who licensed you knew where you are going to build a factory. The work of the Musumba, the shepherd. Once you have the sheep, you know they have pasture, they have water, so the pastor, this factory, how was it supposed to operate? I don't know, my other daughter is not here now. I mean, I'm Mukala, she's very serious also. She's not here today because she's the Minister of State for Investment. They should have checked what is lacking in Ragwa. Why is it? Do you need a substation or what? What are you lacking for the electricity?
Your Excellency, indeed we need a substation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So if they are going to put, I cannot put the case against Okasai yet. It should have started with the shepherd of the factories, because there is a Sama Korero, the head of the factories, which is the Minister of Industries, fed by the Minister of Investments, the one in finance. So that when you are an investment authority licenses a factory somewhere, immediately you start working to back it up with the necessary things. So therefore, with this new team, that's why I had really to make some changes in some of these sectors. With this new team, I'm sure Let's hear Okasai and then we shall hear the head of the factories.
Your Excellency and my colleagues, ministers, the first thing which I realized when I came here was there wasn't adequate power for this factory, because this is medium voltage. The factory is heavier. We should have actually known and should have been alerted to plan to supply adequate electricity.
The 132 kV?
Yes, 132 kV.
But there's a line going to Fort Portal to here, what is that one going to Nkenda? Passing near here.
Yes, but we needed to have a branch which comes to the factory.
So this branch is the wires which are here from where?
This one is actually from a substation which is near here. We needed to bring a substation for 132 kVA close to the factory.
The one you have is?
It's a 33 kVA. This is a distribution line.
For lighting and?
For lighting. This place was, the power which is here is for lighting and light industries.
So, now let's hear from our brand new minister.
Your Excellency, Amina is very serious now, because for her, we are working together and we are actually taking the adequate power. When we come here, she actually tells me now, can we go to this and that place when the factory is being set? But this one, we are being told to come when the factory is established. We actually need to work together, especially with Amina and Ministry of Industry.
Very good, thank you.
Your Excellency, njagala kwebaza olunaku lwa leero. I want to, in a very special way, thank you for the appointment, but also for this development and all the stakeholders involved. Like Honorable Okasai has just mentioned, such a wonderful investment in the middle of, I can say, nowhere, was clearly overwhelming. And like Honorable Okasai has said, and in Minister in charge of investment, the Honorable Mukalazi, the Energy Ministry, and we've been trying to sync, and the word that Prime Minister and the Cabinet is using is one government. So we are trying to sync our operations and see that when such happens, can we work as a team rather than working in silos?
Yes, so because this man did not go and build a factory here. So the one who licensed should have followed up to make sure that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
But we Baganda say, sit down. We Baganda say, ekitata muyimate kikola ki? Ekitata muyimate kikola ki? Meaning that if a herdsman is still alive, even if the cows get lost, he will get new ones. So we are still here, now we are going to sort out. We are getting new shepherds, these are new shepherds. Let's see how they look after the sheep. Now finally, I want to have a small meeting here with Ragwa and the big ministers who are here. Even the MPs can come. And the IGP and the Otema should be there. Okay. Rupanga Koi, God bless you.